Good morning and welcome to The Art of Composition. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. This is part 2 of my video lecture series on Alec Soth. What I'm doing is I'm pulling a few of my favorite photographs by Alec because I'm doing a review on his video that I just purchased earlier on in the week. And this photograph to me really stood out. I love it. Absolutely love it. Let me point out a few things here that stand out. You have a diagonal line. This is a prominent diagonal line, but you also have repeating diagonal lines here. And for me, this just creates movement along this area here. But you do have a vertical here and here. And as far as a horizontal goes, you do have a prominent one here, but you also have one right here. It's a little bit shorter. But if you look at this photograph, you might ask, why is there so much space on this side? And how does it fit within the armature? What I'm going to do is drop the 14-line grid on it to show you why I think it's an effective photograph. And there are certain elements that lock into place with this. Now, you have to remember that photography, again, is not drawing and painting, so it's not going to be perfect. But I use the armature just to demonstrate how elements can come into play that make it a stronger photograph. So let me get started. I watched 3 of the lessons so far in that Alec Soth video. I think it's called Photographic Storytelling. It has 19 lessons in all, and it's, I believe, a little over 5 hours. So I'm taking my time with it. And in between watching those lessons, I'm going to look at some of his work because I'm not really all that familiar with his body of work. And I thought it was a good time to select a few of his photographs and drop a grid on it to see what's going on. But I'm only going to select the ones that for me stand out. Normally what I do is I'll go through Magnum and just make a few comments and scroll through the site, but I wanted to drop the armature on some of these that I really liked that stood out to me at first glance. I'm not saying I don't like anything else he does, but I usually pick the ones that, pop out under first review. And this was one of them, and the other video lecture I did was another one as well. And some of that, of course, is personal preference too. So you have to keep that in mind. But if you're not familiar with his work, you can go to Magnum.com. And the video was $99. So far, I like it. And I also did a review on the art of street photography. That video is fantastic. It's not as long as this one is, but anyway. All right, so I have the 14-line grid drawn out. I'm going to eliminate the center line for now just to make it a little bit clear. And I'm going to change this color to blue because I want to highlight things that stand out. The first thing that stands out to me, even without a grid on top of it, was this area in here. And let me solidify that. Notice how this angle in the leg is being played out with the armature, but also right here. So you have this movement here and then down here, but you can lock a vertical right there. So you have these 3 elements coming into play. But also you have this diagonal line, which I had mentioned before, stemming from here, which is your main diagonal line. You have a vertical. I had mentioned this vertical right here, and that can be drawn from this. Draw that again. From these intersecting diagonal lines. This one stood out to me. And then you have one here. It's not exact, but it falls within the frame. I'm not going to put that one there, but I'm trying to see if there's anything else that stands out to me. You also have this one being played out in the bedspread, and I can bring this all the way down here to there. And you have this being played out. Now, because you're dealing with photography, not everything's going to lock into place. But, you know, if you want to evaluate your own work, this is how you can do it. And if I drop a vertical here, it sort of locks that into place. Again, it's not exact, but gives you an idea. You have the hands in here, and you have that horizontal line being played out right there. These small elements make up a strong composition, and the more elements you have locked into place, the stronger your design is going to be. But this is what stands out to me. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it, as always.